At Buckley's Entertainment Centre Geelong, you'll get the VIP treatment when you join up as a loyalty member. Enjoy all the benefits and rewards just by enjoying the facilities at Buckley's Entertainment Centre. The dining choices at Buckley's are superb, offering daily specials, theme nights, and most of all, exceptional value. The kids can enjoy the large playground while you enjoy dining in the bistro. So whether it's the entertainment, the newly renovated outdoor area, or the great family environment, you'll have a ball at Buckley's Geelong.
Hello everybody, and yes, of course, it's a different show format we do this year, and this is our online streaming GDFL football and netball show, and we're glad that you've been joining us for the season so far. And here we are, nearly at the pointy end of the season, where everything started to come into a situation whereby finals are approaching very, very quickly. And tonight I've got with me, or what do you call it these days, we're on the computer, Grubby. Today, good morning. But we've got with me today, we've got a couple of the people you all should know. The old stager himself, the bloke who absolutely stuffed up the lighting at the Werribee Duck Pond last week for the Twilight game. I've got to say that because he is the in-house electrician, and he is, of course, my little mate, and I emphasise little, Grubby Cases. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, it's good to be here, mate. I'm very lucky to be here. I was actually sitting in my lounge room watching Channel 44. I'm really enjoying it too.
You can't, because they've gone off the air.
No, they're on till December, mate.
They're off.
I would say they're on. Don't listen to Fano.
They must be putting reruns on, because I watched one last night.
Well, there you go. But I'll tell you what, it was a great game. We'll get to that later.
It was, yeah, great game. Only finished at half time. There's no
lights.
lights.
It was a cracking game to watch, I promise you. Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. And of course, we've also got a very special guest with me at the moment, and he is from the Geelong West Giants, and he is their full forward, but also the community liaison officer between the GDFL and the GFL.
That's correct.
And I'd love to introduce you to Adam Vaughan. G'day, mate.
Thank you.
Good to see you here.
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me.
And you haven't been playing for a few weeks. What's going on?
No. As I say, the old man's injury has kicked in, and
I know what that's all about.
Bit of a calf issue.
Calf he's talking about.
Yeah, calf issue for about 6 weeks now. So just can't shake it at the moment, and getting pretty frustrated sitting on the sidelines. So.
Couldn't shake it myself, but I went to the doctors and he said everything was going to be all right after a couple of antibiotics.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen our gags, has he? We've done a few over the years. The new one? I know. Well, I can't do the dry cleaner gag.
He's told a new one. I can't believe that. I've never heard that one.
What are we up to at the moment? Oh, before you go on, the footy record, the Save the Convo.
Start the convo, yep.
Or Start the Convo. That's what you're involved with at the moment.
Yeah, so Start the Convo. That's our slogan for the Thick and Thin campaign, which is basically a campaign promoting young men to
open up a little bit.
To open up, yeah, and just talk about their issues and seek help and address their mental health issues and try and get on top of it as quick as they can before it snowballs and turns into an issue which is hard to control.
Does that include like the dreaded word these days, depression? It's a sad thing to see top elite sportsmen or top personalities, media people, whatever, getting that dreaded thing now with depression. So is that like an early sort of intervention type of thing?
Yeah. It's basically just raising awareness and telling people that there is an avenue to help.
Yep.
And the best way is to actually start the convo, start talking about it, and as soon as you start, probably the hardest thing is to actually start talking about it. But once you do, it becomes a lot easier from there, and help. There's help everywhere. So yeah.
You getting involved with this, Adam? Is there any particular reason why you yourself got involved? Is there any sort of story you can sort of tell us as a reason why you're on board with this? Yeah,
well, personally, I've never been affected by any severe mental health issues. I have family members that have, and still do today, and they've been battling for a few years now. But also being policemen, we sit on a daily basis, and you speak to a lot of people, and I guess you sort of realise that everyone's vulnerable, and it can hit at any stage, and it's quite devastating, really devastating to see, and obviously the worse it gets, let's face it, it can lead to suicide, and innocent people are taking their own lives, and that's one thing that can be very preventable, very preventable.
Look, I reckon you went down the wrong track. To me, you said the that $1 million sportsmen and all these celebrities, they've got $1 million doctors and everyone to help them. What about the bloke in the street? I think that's the main problem here. And look, being a cynic, I was a cynic, and sometimes a little bit still am. I mean, just playing the devil's advocate, Vaughnie. If I see a bloke who says I've got depression, my first reaction is to say, get out of it, mate, there's nothing wrong with you, go and have a beer with your mates, everything's fine, don't worry about it. But it's not. How do you start these people to open up, and how do they get their help?
Well, I guess that advice, going for a beer and having a chat, that's probably the best way. But I think speaking to people who have suffered from mental health issues, whether that is depression or anxiety, or they bottle it in for such a long time, and they reckon they can handle it, and it just comes to that point where it just bubbles and it's over the top, and it's uncontrollable, I guess. And so it's it is that initial step forward, because I think that there's a bit of fear behind it as well, that if they do speak up, that they may seem to be perceived as weak.
Or they get ridiculed and stuff
exactly,
like that. So basically what you're saying is that you don't have to go to a doctor straight away if you're feeling these symptoms.
No.
Just go to your best mate, go to your school teacher, go to your football coach. I saw a real great article from... who was it? Paul Carson, I think, in the Geelong Addy a couple of weeks ago. And the coaches all of a sudden, they've got a duty of care now, and a lot of them are right up with what you're supposed to do. So there's a lot of avenues now that you can do that. As you say, don't bottle it up. Go to someone. Doesn't have to be a doctor, but go to someone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. There's so many avenues where you can seek help, whether it is professional, whether it is a friend or a family or footy club. With the Thick and Thin campaign, obviously the blue socks, wearing the blue socks on the weekend.
I saw them,
which was great to see. And I must admit, every club was right on board and very supportive, which was great to see. So the money raised from that will go towards funding 2 members from each GDFL club to complete a mental health first aid officer course. So while just talking about how people can go and speak to their mates, there will be eventually a person at a club, at the clubs, or 2 people at each club, who are familiar with mental health, that are trained in accredited.
Can maybe pick the signs.
That people then can go to, and that's their avenue to professional help and services. So
that's great.
I reckon that there's a message there, Adam. The bottom line is what Grubby's iterating to, is that don't be embarrassed. Don't feel that you've something wrong with you, that oh gee, I can't be. I feel silly doing this. You've got to open up. You've got to go and talk to someone. And if it means, as Grubby said, one of your mates, if it means someone that you can trust, and by all means, I guess, contact a bloke like you, because that's what your role is with the GDFL and the GFL.
Yeah, well, through the Giants, So, and that stems from seniors and down to juniors. They had the Read the Play on the weekend as well, and I was at the club on Monday night, and we had a presentation there about Read the Play, and so it's starting from that 15, 16 years of age, where there's a lot of I would hate to be a 15 and 16-year-old now. I mean, it's that many social media and everything else just plays such a factor in how they grow up, and so that support is from 15 even younger, really, all the way up. So
Adam, thanks very much for coming on our show. We really appreciate it.
No, thanks for the time.
Giants travelling along all right at the moment, mate.
We've
we knocked off by a point out at Northside.
I know that fight.
Never in doubt that game.
Was it?
You idiot. What about your dry cleaner that game?
No,
I think 5-week period there, we lost by a total of 27 points or something like that. So
I tell you what,
the Giants are back.
I tell you what, you win 3 of them, and you're pretty much in the 5,
Yeah, exactly. So. Unfortunately we couldn't jag a couple of wins out of that period, but anyway, looking forward to Balfour still this week.
Absolutely. Well, thanks.
You drew with them last time, so...
Thanks very much, Adam.
Bring on the lightning again.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Really appreciate you coming
No worries. Thank you very much.
Most importantly, congratulations on the role you're playing. With the start, the convo, get your footy record this week, have a look at it, and what you're doing for footy's great, mate. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you, mate.
Cheers, thank you.
Take care.
Ryobe Healthcare Group is regional Victoria's largest sports injury treatment centre, providing the most comprehensive group of health professionals for the management of sporting and musculoskeletal injuries. We have been looking after sports people since 1985 and continue to provide expert care and service to athletes of all ages and levels. The Geelong Centre employs 20 highly qualified physiotherapists who offer professional clinical treatments with an emphasis on rehabilitation. Ryobe Health Group.
Round 13, and we're getting very close to that important time. Actually, it's next month, the finals, Grubby. And Alex, and I welcome Alex too, by the way, the Lithuanian lover, has returned to the bench here. Good to see you behind the desk there, mate.
Yeah, well, this is the first time we've sat down together since the Como, and that was a nice fresh Tuesday morning in the middle of winter, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was the Como wasn't really cut. There wasn't too much room there behind the bar when I was there.
He combed his hair too. Why didn't you comb yours?
We've got to have hair to comb to start with.
That's it.
But good to see you again, mate, anyway.
Yeah, and look, thanks to Adam Vaughan just before for explaining the stuff and, putting together the record each week. It's nice to talk about player milestones and that, but it's actually the social milestones,
They're not milestones anymore. Get
kilometre
up
stones.
Kilometre stones, thank you very much. Yeah,
I've heard that joke about
I've
14
cracked that
times.
gag before, I know.
But it's the social awareness that this league's actually making great steps
Yeah, it
towards.
is, mate, it is. And turn your phone off too, by the way.
Sorry,
That's all right, it's live television, this is. Don't you worry about that. Now, round 13, Grubby. Unbelievable, what are we up to? We know what's going on here. The Winchelsea Blues are out at, they used to call it the Gun Club, they're out there at absolutely the most picturesque football ground in country football, no doubt about that. Taking on the Werribee Ducks, who didn't pay their power bill last week.
It wasn't so much the power bill.
What happened? I saw you cracking on
wired the
Facebook.
lights. I wired the lights, but
We couldn't have told that.
no, I don't know what happened. But look, it was a cracking game to watch for a while. It really was. And look, me personally, and I think everybody else here would have rather see the game finished no matter what the result. I must admit, Anarchy need the 4 points more than we do because I don't think we're going to make the finals, and Anarchy are an outside chance with them. So maybe there'll be an appeal, and good luck to them for that. But this game could be all right too. This was the other controversial game in the first round where Winchelsea was ahead by 10 points at half-time when the Lightning came, and they got the game there that day. So that day, we were on the wrong end of it, and there was a few whinges from us that day too. But look, this will be a great game of football. Werribee, they've got to play the same as they played. Like, they played well against Geelong West. They weren't good enough. They played well against Thompson. They won. They played terrible against East, or East played well. They're up and down. But Winch are a little bit up and down too. I'm going to go for Werribee, obviously, but only just.
Alex, who do you reckon, mate? The Blues or the Ducks?
You see, I was very excited about the Blues. I hear Alex Gubbins is back, interleague player, former Grovedale. He actually was part of our discussion. Me, Grubby, and the broadcast team, we have our top 10s each week from 1:30, and we talked about the top 10 defenders. I thought he could be on the cusp. Now, he's in. Tavai Sawney's out with a hamstring, which is a shame. He kicked 4 goals against your boys last week, so I'll still go with Winchelsea, but only by a kick.
Fair enough. Okay, out at the Keith Barclay Oval, we've got the North Geelong Magpies, who are travelling along okay. They won the last couple. They got knocked by Anarchy out at the Footrod Flats, which is a bit of a debacle, that one, but they've knocked off the West Giants a couple of weeks ago, and they knocked off Winchelsea last week. And they're going along okay at the moment. They've got a big one this Saturday. It's Ladies' Day at North Geelong. No smart comments about that. Ladies' Day at North Geelong against the Bannockburn Tigers, and I've got to tell you, last week they had a wedding out there. They had a wedding at North Geelong. Who do you reckon got married?
I don't know.
Matthew Jones.
Did he really?
Yeah, he got married to another good-looking bloke out there, and they did Matthew Jones up, and he was the bride.
Oh, okay.
Now, I've got to tell you, this is between just us, eh?
Just us
Doesn't
three,
go any
no
further.
one else is.
That Matthew makes a much more attractive woman than his old man would have made. I've got to tell you that right now.
Oh, I reckon that would go without saying.
Hey? I would have been very attractive if I was a woman. No, I'll tell you what, Matthew was absolutely stunning.
Was he now?
He had his makeup done, his hair done to him. Anyway, we digress. So North Geelong, magnificent social occasion. Ladies' Day on Saturday. And they're up against the Bannockburn Tigers. Now, I thought I'd make a bit of time up there because Bannockburn Tigers have not lost a game.
They have not.
Alex, can North Geelong be the first one to break the spell?
Well, if they do, they've lost the support of the current president. I saw Jason Habib in the Bannockburn hoodie last week. And their former president, because I've looked at the tips and you've gone with Bannockburn, mate. That's against
Well, hang on,
the
I'm trying to catch up. Plus, there's another reason I've done that.
Yep.
If you go against your own club, they'll come back and bite you.
Yeah, well, You're optimistic, Dick, but I'll go with the Tigers here. Shout out though, I heard James Chandler got 22 disposals. Chipper in the 22 disposals in the first quarter against who'd you play? Winchelsea on the weekend. So
Luke Parker's had a bit of a week away in the Gold Coast.
oh, has he?
Yeah, a bit of a rest there and recharged the batteries.
Just ready for finals?
I'm picking up.
Okay, very good.
So I reckon Bannockburn Tigers.
Bannockburn by about 5 goals.
Go and say something stupid.
Well, I beg your pardon. You've got your ladies' day and you've had a great weekend out there.
Ladies' day,
Look, it's fantastic, but you're going to get flogged.
No.
You reckon you're going along nice and you're going all right. I reckon you're bloody struggling, and I reckon you're been very disappointed. You're fourth on the ladder and you're a mile behind third. I reckon you're disappointing. I look down, I see Pittman, I see DeSanto, I know he's out injured. You see Luke Parker, one of the greatest players in the league. You've got a side there that I think should be playing better, and they're not playing well enough. That doesn't mean to say they can't play well in the finals, but they've got to start very soon and get a run on. But at the moment, I think they're a bit disappointing, and I think Bannockburn, I saw Bannockburn last Saturday, they were very good, and I think they'll win pretty easy, Bannockburn, even at Osborne Park.
Very harsh, Robbie, very, very harsh indeed. The Anarchy Roos out of Footrot Flats here, they're going along all right. We've talked about them, knocked off the Magpies a couple of weeks ago, failed under the lights up there at Werribee because Grubby pulled the plug. Against the Belmont Lions, we haven't heard much about from Cogsy this year, how those Belmont Lion Football Club are going, but I'll start with you, Grubby. Anarchy, too good?
Yeah, I think so. They started off with a couple of wins, Belmont, and I thought, look, they're going all right, but all of a sudden they lost a few players. I know Heath Walsh went out to Winchelsea, and I know at the start of the year, Macaulay Harrison went to the GDFL, and he's a real good player. But they just dropped the bundle somewhere along the line. And you know, from going okay, they're going terrible. I saw them against Winchelsea and they were ordinary. I saw them against Werribee and they were really, really bad. Undisciplined. And Anarchy have got something to fight for. If they can get the 4 points on appeal and then get another 4 here, they haven't got a too bad a run home. They're an outside chance of making the 5.
Yep.
There's a lot of sides in there that have to beat each other. But Anarchy will win that this week. They have to.
Yeah, well, look, Belmont, like you said, I could even add Brody Edge, their captain. He hasn't. He's given up footy for triathlons. My understanding is they had probably 8 of their best 10 players from last year out. In comes in this big recruit we heard about in Kai Power, but then he does his meniscus in his foot. So
Done his what?
I'm not.
You said there was no swearing on this program.
You don't use a meniscus looking at Grubby and I like that.
I'm sorry very much for that. Anyways,
What's a meniscus?
I don't know. That's what they
What's a
tell me.
meniscus? How many programs have you got?
Well, what is a meniscus, stupid?
I'm buggered if I know.
Exactly. We
It's
call
in
it
his
both,
knee.
yeah.
It's in his knee.
Yeah. So look, that's.
Well, I haven't seen my knees
That's
for
a
years.
shame,
How would I
but
know?
The reality to it, as to use John Mitchell's line that he uses every morning,
hate
the
that
reality to it is that they're 2-8 or 2-10 or whatever it is, and they just played finals the other year. So things aren't looking good at Belmont. Anarchy, on the other hand, their under 24 midfield group look like they can go somewhere in 2 years under Chris Moore. So best of luck to them. I'll go for the Roos by 50 points.
All right, out at the Godfrey Street Oval, at the Godfrey Street Thunderdome,
Yeah.
the Violet Crumbles, going along all right, but gee, what a challenge this is to come up against those Inverleigh Hawks, Alex.
Well, I think given that there's no GFL this weekend, it might not be BFL this weekend,
No BFL.
and Geelong doesn't play till Saturday night. We're hearing half the region is going to come to this game and watch Jack Kennedy hunt. He's got 7 goals to go before the 100.
Yep.
Can he do it? He's got Cam Howland. I think he kicked 6 on him when they played in round 2 back in earlier in the year in that famous Storm afternoon. So I think he'll do it. And
I've heard a rumour, Dave,
Yeah.
that Terry McLeod is going to pull the jumper on. He's going to line up at full back, and that bloke from Inverleigh will not get a look in.
Wow.
Age shall not weary him.
Was he the resources as well to that claim?
But I don't know. Johnny Mitchell tells me things in confidence. That's okay.
I tell you what, I hope he's not going out to belt him, because I tell you what, I don't think I'll be trying to belt Jack Kennedy up. I've only seen him a couple of times, but he looked to me to be a bloke to stay away from. And that's what most fullbacks must be doing, because he's kicked 90-odd goals. By the way, Cam Addy played a very good game on him the other week.
I was just going to go to that. Last time we were here, John replaced Mitch, and we asked, is Addy the best defender in the league? We did the research. All 4 members of the commentary team picked Addy, and he kept him to 3 goals, 5. So you'd say he did a great job on him.
Oh, he did. If he kicks a little bit straighter, maybe, but he got a couple of months on the chest where Stephen Silvani wouldn't have been able to stop, So there was. Look, I think Cam won the day. but only just. And he looks a dangerous player, don't worry about it. I still want him to kick 5 or 6 against the good sides.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, I think you'll kick him against Thompson. But look, they were pretty good, Thompson. They play this game where they just struggle and they hold them down. They got cut up early on Saturday. But I reckon it's such a hard way to play football that they run out of gas.
Yep.
And Bannockburn were able to go ahead. Look, they're not far behind. I mean, look, Bannockburn last week, Inverleigh this week, people say that's tough. Well, it is, but once they get them out of the way, they've got Belmont, Corio, Werribee, West, North, and I think that should be enough to get them into the 5.
Well, there you go. All right, out at the Devils Playground, the Cry Footy Club, having a pretty ordinary year, the Parole Devils, but they take on the East Geelong Eagles. Grubby, who started the year off pretty ordinary, the Eagles, but I tell you what, they've suddenly found a bit of form.
Well, they have. I saw them play against Corio the first time in the Lightning round, and they only just won. And look, there wasn't much in it, and I didn't think East didn't impress me one bit. So later on in the year, they come down to Werribee, and I thought, well, Werribee will beat these blokes easy. Well, they thrashed Werribee because they played really, really well. They got a kid down the back line named Nagawati.
Yep.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Is that like a meniscus?
Oh, no, it's a real name, you idiot. And he's a really, really good player. I put him in my top 10 defenders in the league. They've got Ash Brownell. I think he might have been. Is he injured?
He didn't play last week. He looks good for this week.
Well, he's my roughie to finish high in the Whitley medal. I like that kid. And they've got a lot of kids in between. So, look, Corio, I'll give you one thing. I went and saw the Belmont Corio game. It wasn't a great game to watch, but you had 44 blokes having a red-hot go. And really, in our footy, that's what you want to see.
Yep.
It's great to see that, but in this occasion, I think East will be too strong for Corio.
No doubt, East Geelong for you, Alex.
No doubt. They bring back Ben Bolton, reigning best and fairest. I think Coops comes back. Buckingham might come back, and Brown, as we said. As for Corio, 2 little messages. One to Kylie Fisher, the president. Fortunately, she lost her father last week, but she still did all these jobs for the club, so well done to Kylie. And Matty Rewalt's vision. The Corio boys will wear purple for that. And then Jack and Nick Rewalt will come on Sunday to the club, so hang on.
Gee whiz, that's great stuff, isn't it?
It's pretty good. The Foxtel cameras will actually be there for a live cross this Sunday from the Viva Energy Oval.
Gee, that's fantastic.
And before you go, that Corio Belmont, they had the
Indigenous ceremony.
Yeah, what do you call it? The fire ceremony or the
smoking of the tea?
Smoking ceremony.
Welcome to
And I tell you what, they did a damn good job. Both sides were involved. They had a couple of Belmont players lead the way, and look, it was a real. One thing I've got to say about that, there was a little kid at the front. He did a great job, but by the end, he was shaking. It was freezing cold, the poor bugger. But look, they did it real well, and congratulations for doing that.
Yep.
I shake when I get out of my jocks these days, I tell you. It's that job.
Here we go.
Okay.
So does Rosemary.
Oh, Rosemary. Now, I've got a new dog. Do you know that? You see me new dog?
I'm not saying anymore.
Nah.
It looks like
Next
a
game, Dick.
small horse. Okay, the 94.7 match of the day this Saturday. It's an absolute cracker. It's at the Geelong West Church Street Oval. They've got good lights there too, by the way, Grubby.
Not after
Right
Saturday.
across the road
I
from
might pull the plug on them too.
right across the road, the magnificent yard show itself. I'd like to say, sponsors of the North Side Football Club. We can say that on computer, we can say what we like now.
Yep.
And of course the Cheetahs, they take on the Adam Bourne Cheetahs, who we had on in that first segment. They take
Cheaters.
well, they're the Giants.
They're the Giants.
Cheetahs / Giants. Don't get picky on me.
They're the Giants.
I'm older than what I was last year.
Yeah.
They take on the Belfast Hill Panthers. Now, I'll start with you, Alex. Are the Panthers just fine-tuning for a big onslaught on the finals, or can West Giants come out and cause what would be called a bit of an upset?
Well, look, I've gone through the books. The last time West actually defeated Belfast Hill was round 2, 2001. I don't even know if the footy show had even started
Well,
back
that was
then.
your birthday. We know that. You were born that day. We know that.
Good on you, very good.
Oh,
But, you know, in the last, they have an average winning margin in the last 15 years. This is in the last 15 years of 105 points. So, it goes to show there's been dominance. But if there's ever been a chance in the last 20 years where Geelong West has been a sniff, it's this week. Due to their recruits and second-year recruits, they've got blokes like Ryan Gans from Nil, Braden Mitchell takes a specky every second ball that comes near him, and they've got blokes, you know, on the sides that are keeping them going. Who's going to win? Belpost by about 40 points.
yeah, probably, yeah. You got more stats than Mick Robertson, too. He's fair income, unbelievable. Grubby, how far Belfast still? Well, it probably will be a bit of a one-sided
Well, I
game.
tell you what, it was a draw last time, so
It just goes to show how much I know about football.
they got 2 points out of it last time, so who says they can't do it again? But
Yeah.
look, I don't know a lot of their players, because as I say, like, when we went out to, I watched them beat Anarchy, and they really pumped Anarchy. They looked really bloody good. That's the first time I've really seen them play, and they looked really good in the second half. Unfortunately, I didn't know most of the players. We didn't call it that day. Fano left the iPad at home again, so unfortunately I didn't know who it was. But look, they were really good that day.
Yeah.
I spoke to the Werribee coach. He said Werribee did the best they could. They weren't good enough. They've got a little bit of a tougher run home, I think. They've still got Invalid to play as well, I think, from memory.
Dame Edna.
They've got Thompson, and they've got a little bit of a tough run home. If they had won some of those games, they lost about 5 games under a goal. They only win 2 or 3 of them, and they're in the 5, so they're not far away. And hopefully I don't think they can beat Belpost till this week, no.
All right, well, that's a great round of footy. That's over. As I said, got a pointy end of the season. We're getting close to the finals. Actually, the finals are next month, which is hard to believe, but it's a fact.
The end of next month. It's still,
next month, though, stupid. Today it's July. That means it's next month. Have a look at your calendar.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 games to go.
Oh, you idiot. Okay, well, thanks for your company again. And it's good to be in this different format, online. And if they don't like what we've got to say, Grubby, all they do is hit Control-Alt-Delete.
Well, they can all go. No.
Hey, we're off.
All right.
Fantastic. Have your company once again. We'll be on again shortly as we get closer to the finals. We'll talk a lot more rubbish and a bit of garbage as we normally do. And we'll see you all again next time. Bye for now.
At Buckley's Entertainment Centre Geelong, you'll get the VIP treatment when you join up as a loyalty member. Enjoy all the benefits and rewards just by enjoying the facilities at Buckley's Entertainment Centre. The dining choices at Buckley's are superb, offering daily specials, theme nights, and most of all, exceptional value. The kids can enjoy the large playground while you enjoy dining in the bistro. So whether it's the entertainment, the newly renovated outdoor area, or the great family environment, you'll have a ball at Buckley's Geelong.